What if I told you you don't have to stay in that relationship? What if I told you it's okay if you want to walk away from that person that is just not right for you anymore? What if I told you just feeling like it's not it is enough of a reason for you to choose to walk away? Hello, everyone. In today's video, we're going to be talking about walking away from people that just aren't right for us, and specifically in romantic relationships. And this video is going to be me honestly talking from experience, talking from my personal experience, and more of like a pep talk with you to get you feeling good about making decisions that serve you and the future version of yourself. So if you're interested, grab a cute drink. We are doing water today, and let's talk all about this topic of the power of moving on. So first off, I'm holding your hand while I talk you through this video because I know how difficult it is to actually be in a position where you are thinking of walking away from someone that means so much to you. Whether you're in a relationship with that person, okay, like you guys have been together for a long time, even a short time, because you know what? Length doesn't actually dictate the quality of a relationship. And it's completely okay if you've been with someone for 5 years or like literally just like a month or 2 months to feel the emotions that you do. It could also be a situationship that you're in. Maybe you've been talking to someone for a few months, or you've been in a situationship with someone for like a little bit of time and you're not feeling good about it anymore and you really just want to choose to walk away from it. And here's the thing. When we're in situations with people that don't serve us, it literally infiltrates into every area of our life. If you think about it, right? Like when you're with someone that actually isn't good for you, you notice that like your routines, your habits, the things that you do for yourself start to fall off. You start to not become your own person. You start to rely on them for happiness, and your mood is completely dictated by the way that that person is treating you. So yes, I'm talking about that hot and cold behavior where it's like 1 second they text you and you're feeling over the moon, you're feeling so excited and happy about it, and then the next second they're not texting you or they're taking longer to text you and your anxiety goes like through the roof. There is a really great book I'm going to recommend to you for those of you that are trying to learn about your attachment style, and it's this one right here called Attached by Amir Levine. It is an amazing book. I recommend this to everybody who's trying to learn about their attachment style, their partner's attachment style, and also just to understand attachment styles better and how to actually cure yours. To give you some background, I used to be an anxious attachment in my previous long-term relationship, and I always talk about this relationship because this is the one that truly transformed my life and turned me into the person you're listening to right now. If it wasn't for this person, I would not have this YouTube channel. I would not be talking about healing, talking about bettering your life and becoming a better version of yourself if it wasn't for this relationship, which is why I always bring it up. But truly, this is the relationship that taught me so many things about myself, guys. Like the power of walking away is so deep, and I say that because I walked away. I walked away from a relationship that was actually a good relationship. There was nothing truly fundamentally wrong with it. It was just that I felt like I wanted better for myself, that I wanted to be with a partner that was a little bit better, that had specific things that I felt would have made me happy. I sat there and I was like, you know what? Like, what is wrong with this relationship? Like I would sit there and be like, no. Like there's something seriously wrong with this relationship, and there's something that is just not clicking for me. And it was this internal gut feeling I kept having like over and over again. It would be like, we'd have good moments, but I'd be like, I don't know. And the more I sat with it after, moving forward from this person and doing my healing, the more I realized that was like my future self talking there. Quite literally trying to communicate to my current self, telling myself that I'm not able to up level and become that future version of myself because I'm being held back by the situation and this person. And let me tell you guys, when I chose to walk away from this situation and this person is when my life completely changed. And I truly mean that. And I'm not even exaggerating when I say that. Everything changed for the ultimate, sticky lip gloss. Everything changed for the ultimate better for me. I started to really get into routine and habits. My healing started. Like I literally started realizing like who I was as a person. I started realizing like, okay, the things I liked. I started to look at myself as like an actual human being, as a person, start to understand my emotions and my feelings towards things and how I loved to do certain things and I didn't like to do other things. And, I started going to the gym. I started a routine. I started getting my fitness up. I started to love myself in terms of like how I looked like. I started to change physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually as a person going through that breakup. And it took walking away to really allow me to up level my life. And which is why I am telling you, if you have that gut feeling, okay, that little feeling inside of you that tells you maybe this is not the person for you, I really urge you to sit with yourself and listen to that feeling. You don't actually have to have a reason. And I say this because I know a lot of the times, like when you're having that feeling and people around you are being like, no, but your relationship is lovely, but like you guys are best friends, but you treat each other really well and blah, 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 whatever the reasons are, it can be really difficult to choose to walk away because you're like, wait, it is beautiful. It is great. It is this, it is that. Why am I even feeling this way? And when you're asking yourself that question, like, why am I feeling this way, is already your indication that there's something fundamentally wrong that you need to listen into. Look, I always say that that little intuitive feeling, that little intuition that's like speaking to you is your future self, is the better version of you that's trying to communicate with you and tell you something. I'm going to tell you just straight from experience because honestly, I feel like the best way to learn things or the best way to kind of like cope with things sometimes is to have like, someone tell you, hey, this is what happened to me when I chose to do this. And so you can get comfort in your situation and feel supported in the path that you choose for yourself. One thing I really wanted to do while I was in that relationship was become a model. I wanted to model. I wanted to experience modeling. I wanted to experience, being a YouTuber. I wanted to start content creation. That's something I really fundamentally believed I could do. And like I've always said to you guys, when you believe something is like for you, when you feel like, there's something that your heart is desiring to do, it's normally because it's destined for you and you just have to like tap into it and then like start it and see where it takes you. I basically like wanted to do that, but I felt like my relationship was just like holding me back. I felt like there was just something about the relationship, but I couldn't even pinpoint it, guys. I couldn't even say like my partner told me not to do this or blah, 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 because that was not the case. I just felt fundamentally inside me that there was something lacking from being in that relationship that didn't allow me to up-level my life into what I wanted to do. And guess what happened? Once I chose to leave that relationship is when I actually did become a model. I started modeling. Opportunities started falling in my lap, quite literally. I didn't even go look for opportunities. They just fell in my lap and I took them and I experienced different things, And it was like YouTube started. I started this whole channel because of that breakup. That's the whole reason we're here today. That really was the catalyst for it. And I think back to it and I'm like, there has to be a reason for everything that happens to us, right? And that was my reason, which is why I'm saying to you, if there are things that you feel in your relationship that are not right, listen to it. It's also okay for you to have standards. And I'm saying this now because for those of you that have started relationships when you were like 19, 20, I don't know, even high school relationships, realize that we change a lot as people as we grow. Or we should be changing as people. And I know for those of you watching my channel, you are people who want to grow and want to strive to achieve better things for yourself. When you're in a relationship so young and you're, navigating life so young, you really don't understand life, okay? I'm putting it out there. You don't understand life to the magnitude that you do as you grow and as you experience new things. The issue is when two people start being together from a really young age, oftentimes, I'm not saying this is fundamentally like across everybody, but oftentimes you don't actually end up growing in the same direction as your partner. And this is where if you just observe a lot of people that have been together for a really long time or from a really super young age where you're not even developed, you'll notice that there's always like a discrepancy between the two people. They're not as happy as you would think that they would be. And the reason being is because a lot of people settle. Did you know yourself at 16? Because I didn't know myself at 16. I didn't even know myself at 21. And I'm looking back at it now, knowing myself at like 27. And I'm like, okay, you know what? There was so much healing and so much growth that happened during, all those years of time, which has led me to be the person I am today, which has also led me to truly learn to love myself and therefore pick a partner that's actually more in line with my life. When you're young and you're meeting someone at such a young age, there's a lot of potential that we look into, right? It's like, oh, this person is going to potentially become an astronaut. This person is going to potentially become an accountant or potentially become an engineer. But the reality of the world is you don't know what they're going to be. You don't know what they're going to be when they're 24 if you've met them when they're 19. You cannot put So much betting on potential. And this is where I say, when my mom used to tell me, like growing up, she used to be like, hey, maybe don't date so young because you're not going to like really, like, how do you know that that person and you are really going to be together? Like, I didn't understand that fact when I was younger, but now, like, being older, I'm like, you know what? Like, there was a lot of validity to it. However, I do believe that dating when you're younger is also good because you need to get experience with dating. Like, you're not just going to like know how to date when you're older. Like, I do think that experience is a huge thing when it comes to dating and being in a healthy relationship. When you are dating someone so young, and this happened to me, you think of specific things, right? You're like, this is the house we're going to have, and this is when we're going to get married, and this is the job we're going to have, and this is the income we're going to have. But the reality of it is you don't know if that person is going to also want to grow in that same direction. And that's exactly my situation. Me and that person actually didn't end up growing in the same direction. We ended up growing in complete separate directions. And we were trying to still make the relationship work because there was such a time investment in this relationship and an emotional investment, right? An attachment that was also there. But the reality of it is two people were fundamentally so different that it wasn't going to work long term. And I knew that. I sat down with myself one day, and I'll tell you guys this super, super like vulnerably here. I remember sitting down with myself and being like, okay, do you see yourself marrying this person? And mind you, we were very serious. Like, this was a very serious relationship. This wasn't like a relationship that was like casual or like just a fling or like just started. Like, this was a relationship where me and this person were together for like 5.5 years. Like, very close to engagement, very close. Like, I'm this small girl, this small, close to engagement. And I specifically didn't go through with it because I realized I was like, I don't see a life with this person. I don't see a future with this person. I don't see myself marrying this person. I don't see myself being the mother of this person's children. And it took that. It took being really honest with myself to realize that that wasn't the situation I wanted to be in. And this is what I'm urging you to do. It's okay if you don't want to date somebody or be with someone that is in a specific field, that is a specific whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. You have a right to choose someone that you want to be with, that fits your needs and fits your wants for your future. Now, again, not everyone's going to be perfect. You're not going to meet a perfect person. That does not exist. However, the fundamentals and core of what you're looking for have to be satisfied. If you're with someone that is abusing you, okay, it doesn't matter how long you've been with that person. If they are abusing you emotionally, physically, mentally, whatever the case is, don't do yourself that disservice. That is a huge disrespect to who you are as a person and who you're becoming as a person. Like I've always said, environment quite literally caters where you're going to go in your life. And if you're consistently allowing a terrible environment to be around you, what do you think is going to happen? Choose yourself. And I know when I say that, like, a lot of people will roll their eyes and be like, oh my gosh, like, it's not that easy to choose yourself. I know. It's not easy to choose yourself. But the way your life transforms when you do choose yourself, trust me, I am a living proof of it. I am sitting in my own apartment. My own apartment that I was supposed to buy with that person, how many years ago? 3 years ago now. I did it myself. And I did it myself because I had the courage, first, to walk away. 2, the discipline and determination to become my own person and to heal. It was all healing. It was sitting there and being like, you know what? I don't choose that for myself anymore. And I was supported by my family, by my friends, and the people that helped me get through it. And I urge you to look for those people that will help you get through it too, because there are people around you that will do that for you. And one day, just to give you a little bit of hope on the other side, because I know a lot of people tell me this. They're like, well, what if I leave the person and I never find someone else? You will. Why would you not? And I always say that. Why would you not? The universe wants good for you, right? Like, if you believe in God, I'm a person of God. God wants good for you. The people I met after my previous partner were amazing. Yes, some of them were weird. Yes, some of them were strange. But like, can we ask for anything else? I needed those experiences. I needed to learn what I actually wanted in a person. And now I'm in a committed, beautiful relationship with someone that treats me well, allows me to feel loved and cared for, and we have a very healthy dynamic by the blessing of the universe. And this can happen for you too, if you choose to walk away from situations that truly do not serve you. Hot and cold is unattractive. Leaving you on red, unattractive. Not giving you a stable relationship, unattractive. We do not allow people to treat us that way. The more you tolerate, the more it's going to happen for you, the more it's going to manifest for you because you're allowing it to happen in your life. So if you needed a little push, a little urge, a little something, okay, or this showed up on your feed, take it as a lesson and run with it, okay? Understand that you're allowed to walk away from situations that don't serve you. And this is how the other side looks like, for those of you that are wondering what it looks like. I hope this video gave you some sort of motivation, some sort of, honestly, support, from someone, just to know that like things are okay and you're going to figure it out. And you are a badass and you are going to figure out everything in your life. And your life is beautiful because you're making it beautiful. I believe in you. I know you can do it. And I'll see you next time.